Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all are all having a good day like always. Today, I have another horror slash cryptid battle. We have the Rake from Creepypasta slash Cryptid versus the Sasquatch from Legend and Cryptid of its own. Like always, I really wish y'all guys would like the video, comment your thoughts about it, like some battle requests I can do. I would be happy to do those if possible. Subscribe if you're not. So with that out of the way, let's get to the battle, and I hope y'all enjoy. The Rake ranges anywhere from 6 to 7 feet tall and 150 to 250 pounds. It's deceptively strong despite its relatively small frame compared to other monsters. It can casually maul and rip apart animals such as dogs, mountain lions, wolves, some bears, and people with absolutely no effort. Its notorious enemy with the cryptid known as Dogman, which is a massive wolf-like monster, which is sort of like a werewolf, but not as powerful as the werewolf in mythology. But the Dogman is extremely strong. It can easily crumple cars with its brute strength, and can rip apart like bears with no effort. Even though the Rake isn't as strong pound for pound as the Dogman, it can hold its own reasonably. Speed. The Rake is extremely fast and agile. It moves in like a scuttling, crawling motion like a spider. It's able to easily blitz people and disarm them before they can even react. It can evade attacks from the Dogman and is usually one step ahead of the monster. It can even crawl up walls. It can crawl up trees. It can even, like, let's say a bigger animal is it's facing off against a bigger animal like a bear or a Dogman. It can literally crawl on the monster, like jump onto it and crawl over it like a spider does. It can dodge gunfire. It can move and maneuver. It can maneuver flawlessly in tight enclosed spaces. And what makes it even more dangerous is that when it moves and hunts, it makes absolutely no sound when it moves. So you won't even hear it before it's right on you, or you won't even hear it at all. Despite its frame, the Rake is deceptively tough. It can brawl with Dogman. It can ignore stabs and non-fatal injuries, take gunshots, and blunt force trauma to a certain degree. The Rake is extremely clever. Sorry for the cough. It's extremely clever and cunning. Stalking and hunting and tormenting its victims are its main approach that the Rake uses, and it's also known to plan its attacks. It's lived for centuries, giving it vast experience, since some recordings go back from anywhere from the 17 and 1800s all the way up to present day. Even though it's possible there's multiple Rakes out there, but let's just say it's extremely smart and clever. The Rake is a top-tier hunter and tracker, using its stealth and hunting tactics to take down its victims. Hacks and gear. The Rake is equipped with its massive claws, sharpened teeth, long limbs, literally silent when it moves, some form of mind hacks. It can invade your dreams, drive you insane slowly. The Rake is a monster that loves to torment its victims and drives them to even suicide. Given their massive size, ranging anywhere from 6 to 15 feet tall and 600 to 1,300 pounds, 1,000, pretty much 1,100 pounds, the Sasquatch can easily maul and rip apart animals such as wolves and bears. It can crumple cars and uproot trees, fling boulders, and are built very physically dominant. Despite their large size, the Sasquatch is deceptively fast. It can cross long distances rather quickly with its long limbs, and can hunt down and keep up with wild game. Given their bulky frame, the Sasquatch are very resilient to damage, consisting of bullets, stabs, blunt force trauma. It can brawl with bears and moose and take no damage from them, basically. Sasquatch are very cunning and clever when need be. They are very good hunters and trackers and are actually known to set up traps and form strategic attacks, and are well known for being one of the most elusive cryptids out there. They are very experienced and gifted hunters and trackers and are quite stealthy and form strategic in hunts. Sasquatch are equipped with their massive arms used for clubbing and bashing their enemies, large teeth, bulky frame, super enhanced senses, ability to use weapons around them. The legend of the Sasquatch, just like the Rake, is one that will always make us fear the unknown, what lurks in the shadows, and what we would never understand completely. Deep in the Rocky Mountains, Daniel is seen waking up after hearing a noise from outside his tent, the same noise that has woke him up every night this past week. A sound of a deep roar mixed with a high-pitched hooting call awakes him. Scrambling for his rifle, he sits straight up, paralyzed with fear, as a massive shadow casts itself from the dying light of his campfire before it is violently stomped out. Total darkness surrounds him. All is quiet for around 10 seconds until he is savagely ripped out of his tent, dropping the gun in haste, and dangled high above the air. Suddenly, remembering his headlamp, he flips it on and screams in terror at the hairy monster that he is face to face with. One by one, his limbs are viciously ripped off as he is devoured. A scuttling sound snaps the Sasquatch from its meal as it sniffs the air and looks around. It spots a pair of massive, pale, white eyes staring at it from about 20 feet away as a hiss escapes the razor-sharp fangs of the Rake, daring the Sasquatch to make a move. Roaring in rage, the Sasquatch stands up to meet the monster. As both size each other up, the clearly smaller Rake is not intimidated in the slightest, instead waiting for the monster to make the first attack. The Sasquatch charges and swings. Ducking the blow, the Rake returns a slash across the chest. The Sasquatch roars and throws both arms at the monster. The Rake scuttles backwards, then lunges at the chest of the Sasquatch, swatting and snatching at the Rake. The Sasquatch finally delivers a full strike that sends the Rake sprawling onto the ground. The Rake narrowly avoids having its skull caved in by a stomp and slashes at the ankle of the Sasquatch, causing it to stumble backwards. Picking up a large branch, the Sasquatch strikes the side of the monster's head so hard it reverberates around the woods, causing the Rake to flail backwards. The Sasquatch lifts a large rock and flings it. The Rake dodges and blitzes, crawling underneath the beast, latching onto its back with its feet. Using its long claws, the Rake plunges them deep into the sides of the Sasquatch, dropping the monster to its knees. Using both of its hands, the Rake begins to pry open the jaws of the Sasquatch with all of its might. The Sasquatch bites down, taking several fingers with it, but the Rake is determined, and with one last pull, a sickening crunch reverberates around. The Sasquatch finally drops limp with a mighty crash as the pale monster scuttles away into the darkness. Strength edged to Sasquatch by a good margin. Speed edged to the Rake by a good margin. Durability edged to Sasquatch. Intelligence edged to the Rake by a very slight margin. Skill-wise, you could say tie, just like intelligence, but I give a slight edge to the Rake. Axe and gear, tie, both are very equipped with their style of fighting and way they hunt and attack. So, this is definitely a very close fight. One I think could go either way reasonably. But personally, in my opinion, I think the Rake wins this fight mainly due to its speed, elusiveness, and intelligence. I think it would be very hard for the Sasquatch to land a lot of strikes on the Rake. But again, I think it could go either way. But I see the Rake winning this fight. Victor the Rake. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening. I hope y'all enjoyed that video. You all stay safe, and I'll see y'all later.